This Wildcard Weekend NFL Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your home for college and NFL playoffs. Use the promo code SGP and get up to $1,000 in free bets. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid at MyBookie. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay-per-head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by PropSwap. PropSwap is America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Go to PropSwap.com to find better odds than your local book. Plus, when you use that promo code SGP, you get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's PropSwap.com, promo code SGP. Last but not least, we're brought to you by me, Sean Green. I'm headlining stand-up comedy shows in San Diego this Friday and Saturday night. Go to SeanTGreen.com for details. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer dog?
Wow.
The dogs are loose. The Eagles preparing to enter another playoff journey with their backs against the wall, and no one, absolutely no one, believing in the Eagles. The public pounding the Seattle Seahawks as a road favorite.
Oh, you're getting a little choked up over there. I like that.
Getting emotional.
Well, as you see, Sean, it is a new year. It is 2020. I know what's good for business. I got my green on over here.
You bleed green, Ryan.
I bleed green, not for the Philadelphia Eagles, Sean, but I was telling you, holiday season, I've been dabbling in some meat. So my green is to my new
hashtag coleslaw.
My new lifestyle. I'm cutting the meat back out. I feel like shit, Sean. I ate some meat.
Really?
I ate some meat. And not to derail from your Philadelphia Eagles, but I do want to make this about me for a second. I ate a little bit of meat this holiday season, and I got to be honest.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling very inflamed.
Really?
Very, very bloated. I'm feeling like I'm not a hungry dog who could run faster right now.
What is inflammation? I don't understand this idea that you eat. So what, you have a T-bone steak and you feel like shit? I feel amazing. I feel on top of the world. You need gristle, like a great 8-cylinder engine. I need some oil in there, right? And the gristle, that is the oil that gets the pistons firing to these guns, right?
Sean,
I'm jacked up, red meat, lifting weights, cashing prop bets, getting rock hard erections from healthymail.com. It is a new year.
It's so funny. Before the show, I turned this all up a little bit because I was like, and now we're both juiced up. I'm juiced up on plants. You're juiced up on meat and the Philadelphia Eagles. Well,
shout out to Twitter user AbCrouch93, Ryan.
Okay.
Quote, "You have taken dick pill ad reads to an art form."
Well, I think that's a compliment, right?
Oh, there's no other way to take it but a compliment. And, so hopefully AbCrunch93 is using that healthymail.com promo code, SGP, gets 49 pills for $20. That seems like a great deal.
Well, and before we get to actual football, Sean, because it is a new year.
It is.
I also thought I would look back and kind of grab some things that we, the Sports Gambling Podcast, can improve on because, as it turns out, Sean, while most of our reviews are awesome, are positive, people who love the brand, you know what? Some are mean.
Oh, no.
Some are assholes. Oh, my goodness. I put it up on the big screen by accident, Sean. How did I do that? I don't know. All around low quality.
Wow.
1 star?
That was 2 years ago, Ryan.
That's all right. That's all right. I want us to remember these things. So going forward, we don't make these kind of mistakes
So we maintain being hungry dogs so that we give out – because the entire time I've been trying to give out bad picks occasionally just to throw people off. But you're saying good picks for 2020.
No real insight. 1 star from Josh13. Sure, Ryan picks some right, but he doesn't talk about facts or stats. For the most part, I hate Durant, so pick LeBron. I'm annoyed that Tom Brady wins all the time. So pick the other team.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Keep politics out of it. Hashtag stick to sports.
Wow, right.
Squares. These guys are complete
I'm going
amateurs.
all in on Trump.
And bet with their hearts. Listen to them if you hate money. I don't know about you, Sean. That got me fired up. And this is the last one I'll leave you with because I know this will fire you up. For our great 2020 season, starting off with a nice playoff run, special effects sounds. I really tried to like this podcast, but the special effects being played every time someone said a trigger word really annoyed me. Like a dog barking every time someone said underdog.
Wow.
First of all, I ain't no bitch.
And people love the sound effects. What are you talking about?
Hold on. We brought on the New England Patriots film crew to help us with these reviews.
Yes. Well, Ryan, give him one more second, and we brought him in, and
I can delete this right here.
Oh, thank you. So while they're looking into deleting these negative reviews of us, which are horribly fictitious and false, we will just give out stone cold locks for this playoff season. Because I got to be honest, Sean.
Sorry, Ryan, I was triggered to play the lock sound effect.
Not in a very, very long time. Not since the 2011 Giants remind me so much of the 2007 Giants. Have I been more certain of a wild card weekend?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Every single angle here immediately popped off the screen. Can't wait to get into it, Sean.
Well, before we do that, Ryan, I think there are a couple things remaining from the 2019 season. Not of course, me going 11-4-1.
Did the Giants hire Matt Rule yet?
Breaking news, Matt Rule not going to the NFL, Ryan.
Stop it.
Well, he's not going to be a coach of the New York Giants again. We hit on this last playoff that Gettleman is going to prevent you from getting a really good head coach.
Rule?
Josh McDaniels, he's not going there. Who do you want? Matt Rule's off the table.
Matt Rule has a relationship with Gettleman. He worked with Gettleman in the past.
Okay, but
he likes Gettleman. Called him a football guy.
Why? Because he hates analytics.
Your fake news bullshit out of here, Sean. You think I didn't come prepared for the Wild Card Weekend show? You didn't think I was gonna? You were gonna spread this fake news about Matt Rule? He's coming to the Giants. It's his dream job. I'm very happy about it. The Giants are into analytics. Dave Gettleman is now cancer-free and focusing on the Giants. Let's fucking go.
Okay, so
Hashtag
you think Matt Rule? Okay, I'd be surprised, but maybe he does end up doing it. Mike McCarthy, he's a top candidate for the Giants. Any interest in?
No, that would be horrible.
Now, really, the card that is yet to fall, that is this house of cards, that will somehow trigger Jason Garrett becoming the new head coach of the New York Giants. He's in his third meeting right now. He has not yet been fired. Sources close to me say they're trying to find a new job for him in the Cowboys organization. Why else would you have 3 meetings? It makes complete sense that they're trying. He's very good at,
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Shining some shoes, clapping. They're trying to find a spot for him, a soft landing for Jason Garrett.
It's funny you brought this up because I have this noted for the Seahawks-Eagles breakdown later, but we'll just talk about it now. Perhaps he could become a male cheerleader because, Sean, I don't know if you know this, the NFC East has gotten into the business of male cheerleaders with yours truly, the Philadelphia Eagles. So Jason Garrett as an official clapper, standing on the sideline, maybe propping up some young ladies.
Could be.
No.
I always love male cheerleaders. Their thing was like, "Oh, you got to look up their skirts." Like, what a weird, creepy angle.
That's what a
even if you really did get to do that, would you really endure 8 hours of prancing practice and clapping?
You know what straight guys do to do that? Go to a strip club. Period.
Yeah, I don't need to wear a like a knit sweater and some.
All right, here are the interviews.
If you want to cheer, that's your business, but you look kind of goofy.
I like. They also are going to be interviewing the Cowboys defensive backs coach Chris Richard, which I like that. I like that interview, and I like the interview of Don Wink Martindale, just because his name is Wink.
All right, couple other big stories of 2019 to close out. Freddie Kitchens, R.I.P. Freddie Kitchens.
You know what? We we're sorry. We didn't see this one coming.
Who couldn't have seen? They loaded up so much talent, Ryan. They were stacking with Baker. He's got Odell. He's got Landry.
And to your earlier point, Matt Rule, maybe he wants to stay in college. But the only team he flat out said no thanks to was the Cleveland Browns. Why would he do that? He has a franchise quarterback. He's loaded. That roster is loaded. Why are people scared of this position? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, poor Freddie Kitchens. Where does he go?
Where does he go?
College coordinator?
I think he could be like
Someone's got to get the lemonade in that stadium.
yeah, Baker. Is it going to be weird when they evict Baker and we're going to see the transition in Baker Mayfield where he goes from commercials where they're joking about him living at the Cleveland Browns Stadium to him being a hobo actually living at Cleveland Browns Stadium, because he's not a guy who's going to hold on to his money. And 4 years from now when he's washed out of the league, he's actually going to be living in the First Energy bathroom. He's going to be the guy like stealing concessions.
Yeah, this is where we have that bit where we redo the changing places scene where I hand you $1.
And Baker Mayfield.
Baker's just a bum.
Some hobo bit my arm in the concession stand. Oh, that's no hobo. That was Baker Mayfield.
I bet you $1.
All right, so R.I.P. Baker. Got to rub some salt. Poor Cleveland. Good sports town. Unfortunate. Maybe they bring in a good coach. Last one we got to get to, Jameis Winston. A man we, along with the rest of the league, have been celebrating all season from excitement point of view. Red Zone Hall of Fame quarterback, probably the most. I don't have official stats, but as far as red zone switches to plays involving this guy, it has to be the leader, because
I can say this. I know that I personally have watched more outside of Eagles and Giants and maybe Chargers. I've seen more Bucks minutes than any other game. Yeah. And that's by choice, because again, must-see TV. So congratulations to Jameis Winston.
Must see.
5,000 30-30 club.
30-30.
It will never be done again. It will. I can confidently say this on the day January 2nd of the year 2020, that no one ever again will have 5,000 passing yards, 30 interceptions, and 30 touchdowns.
Yeah. And
Hall of Famer right there. Put him in.
He is a first ballot. And you know why we're never going to see it again? Because of the quotes coming from Bruce Arians. They go, I forget what set it up, but he said, quote, "If we can win with this quarterback, we can definitely win with another one."
They was asked, do you think you could replicate this success with another quarterback? And he's like, yeah, we won with this one. We can definitely do that with another one.
I mean, he did have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. You think
they're stacked. Talk about a stacked roster. I mean,
yeah, and they hit the over, which we were all over. We had some long shot stuff for them to get into the playoffs and win the division. New Orleans just smoked them, but I mean, at 15-1, I still don't regret it, because they were a couple games away from being a playoff team. I mean, if they hit that 37-yard field goal against the Giants, that's an easy win, and they certainly left.
And if Jameis just only throws 3 pick sixes on the season?
Well, instead of 7. And that really was the greatest way to end a season of all time. They go into overtime, and I had Jameis in some DraftKings lineups going, so I wanted overtime to rack up some more points. But then part of me was just like, I hope he gets the 30. I hope he throws that last one.
Yeah.
And it was a thing of beauty to just see that pick six go to the house. So,
by the way, Sean, if you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/sportsgaming.
What do you got going over there, Ryan?
As part of the hashtag coleslaw lifestyle, just drinking some coconut water, little mango flavoring.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
All right, Ryan. And by doing that, we got to blast the NFL theme song. Get jacked up for the NFL playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, I am talking about playoffs. Oh, man. What's sweeter than... It's awesome because it takes up an entire weekend. Normally, it's just Sunday where you're sitting down watching football. Now it's 2 primetime games Saturday, 2 primetime games Sunday, back-to-back of 7 hours of football, and it's just amazing. And, of course, the presenting sponsor of this podcast, the Podcast Network, the YouTube channel, social media, they got a taste of everything because they're helping keep the content train going, and that is our pals over at mybookie.ag. everything you want to bet on. And obviously, you want to bet on everything. You're listening to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Is available over at mybookie.ag. Personal favorite is the custom prop builder. That's always fun. Premier League, NHL, NBA, NCAA, college basketball, college football, and of course, the National Football League playoffs, all available. All you got to do, head to mybookie.ag, use that promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid up to $1,000. $1,000 in a sweet, sweet, sweet deposit bonus over at mybookie.ag. All right, Kramer, let's get to it. Start reading off the lines. Let's start breaking these games down.
All right, Sean. Well, Saturday, 1:35 kick here on the West Coast. Buffalo heads down to Houston, where Houston is a 2.5-point favorite, minus 140 on the money line, plus 120 for the Bills. 44 is the total. Sean, before we get started,
Yes.
on the wild card round, we like to talk about this every year, and that is fading first-time starters in the National Football League. It's relevant here with not Ryan Tannehill, Josh Allen. We also have the K metric, which I don't believe a Colin Kaepernick won some playoff games, so we'll see. But since 2002, quarterbacks making their first career playoff start in the wild card round are 8-28 straight up, 22%. 3-11 against the spread as a favorite, and in this situation, 7-15 against the spread as a dog. That is 31.8%. And then I'm going to throw it out there. Unders are 27 and 15, 64%. This is all from @JohnBoyBeats on Twitter. Definitely give him a follow. All right, Sean. So game one. As much as I know you're coming out with the Bills are gonna do this. No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagon. Ryan, this cannot be a coincidence. They find Chris Berman. He's living off the grid in a cave.
Is he really?
They pull him out of retirement. They give him a clean shave. They cut his hair. They get him back on television. Boom, TJ returning to ESPN Plus NFL Prime Time. And in that same year, the Bills get their first 10-win season, and God knows how long. That is not a coincidence, Ryan. There's something out there that's bigger than the Houston Texans, that's bigger than Chris Berman. It is the Buffalo Bills mojo. We finally found the identity of the Dallas Goes Down guy. He's he's turned into a viral celebrity, the guy who yelled, "Dallas goes down." And that video came out on Thanksgiving. Dallas did go down. He is predicting that Houston will go down, and I'm riding the Bills. I don't care what you say about rookie quarterbacks or first time in the playoffs. I think that stat's a little overblown. I love the Bills on the road this year. 6-1-1 against the spread on the road, and their defense has been really solid all season, but in particular on the road. And I think they're going to be able to limit the Houston Texans. Also, the Houston Texans struggle to put up points in the playoffs. I mentioned this on the fantasy football show, but the Houston Texans, last 5 playoff games, they've only hit 20 points once.
The past is the past. J.J. Watt going to play, Sean?
Come on. How effective can J.J. Watt be?
I mean, football is all about hype and get up. And are we playing together? Are we feeling good today? Are we going all in? Right?
Yep.
I think having J.J. Watt there is going to get this defense up because they've been pretty trash. Let's be honest there. Points per drive, they're 24th. So, Sean, this Bills team, they played 5 playoff teams this year. You know what the record is?
5-0.
1-4.
Okay.
You know what the one is?
No.
You wouldn't guess it. They beat Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans.
All right.
So,
and what about the Houston Texans?
3-3.
All right.
They had the 6th hardest schedule. So if you just analyze their book of work, Buffalo's covered more spreads, 9-6-1 versus Houston's 7-8-1. But Buffalo has not played the schedule, and they've not performed against the top level teams. And that's something I like to look for because the narrative you're going to hear in lamestream media, to quote our great president, Sean. Sorry, staying out of politics.
I'm going all in on Trump.
Well, this Houston team, they play up and down to their competition. While I agree with that,
Yep.
I like Deshaun Watson. I think he's a winner. I think that's a legit thing that you can label him with, and I don't think as a short favorite of 2.5 points, he's going to lose
Take the
this
2.5.
game.
Don't lay the 2.5. Right.
And I have some reasons why you might want to take the Bills, and that is since 2000, home favorites of 2.5 or less are 2-14 against the spread. You can use that later for your boys as well. When they're home favorites of less 2.5 or less, they are 1-9 against the spread. Now, that being said, I'm looking more at the book of work this year. I'm looking more at this Bills team for what they are. And while I think they're a solid team, I think it's disrespectful that Deshaun Watson's only laying 2.5 points here. I think J.J. Watt gives them a little boost on defense, if not on the field, just from an emotional standpoint. And again, the Bills
are they emotionally fragile? They need a tough guy like J.J. Watt.
Just having him on the field, right? Even if he's not impacting the game, he's impacting the game, I think, just being on the field. And I think, again, when you look at the Bills against these playoff teams, the only one they've beaten is Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. So I'll leave it at that. We're gonna agree to disagree here.
Well, and I think, and there's talk that Will Fuller's going to be back, but with the groin, Ryan, you have a groin. You know, they get tricky. So even if he's back, I don't know if he's going to be 100% or it's really easy to re-aggravate a groin. I'm looking at the injuries on the quarterback situation. Jonathan Joseph and Bradley Roby, the Texans starting quarterbacks, both dealing with hamstring injuries. I think that's going to be a huge factor. Not enough people are talking about that. I think that's going to be a big deal. And now Laramie Tunsil, he's also banged up, and he's supposed to be their best guy on their offensive line. And if you can get pressure on Deshaun Watson, you can win the game. And I think that's what this Bills team is going to do. I think they're going to get a ton of easy catches over the middle with Cole Beasley. I think Josh Allen's going to be running around a lot. And Josh Allen is a guy that's not afraid to run the ball to win a game. You saw that in prime time on the short week. Again, similar situation. They went in as an underdog to a team in Texas that was favored, that was playing on a short week, that was more talented, and they went in and they took care of business. How'd they do that? Josh Allen ran around a lot. I've seen grit and determination out of Josh Allen twice now on 4th and 1 where he's gotten stopped completely and then re-extends himself. And, what I saw in that Thanksgiving game, what I've seen late out of Josh Allen, you want to talk about gamers, this dude has the gamer gene. Now, yeah, did the Patriots have their number? Yes. But they went into Pittsburgh and won an ugly game against a very good defense. And I think they could do a similar thing against this Texans team. I think they're going to be able to slow down Houston. The last thing we haven't hit on, the coaching advantage. I'm a big Sean McDermott guy, and I like fading Bill O'Brien in the playoffs. I just think he's a guy who hasn't figured it out.
Those are fair points, I think.
Yeah.
I think those are fair points. I think but at the same time, does coaching outweigh the quarterback matchup? Which maybe I'm favoring Watson by more than you, but I just think that Watson's been there before. He's learned through loss there before, and while to your point they haven't been the top performer, I'm gonna take him over Mr. Josh Allen every time at 2.5. I just don't think the Buffalo team should be getting this respect. Are we good?
We're good, Ryan.
Do we want to throw out more? Are we picking totals? What are we doing? What are you forcing me to do?
I'll take Buffalo plus 2.5. I'll also take under 44. Again, this feels like a 21-17 type game, 20-16. This is going to be a very ugly kind of. People will be complaining the playoffs aren't interesting. They're not exciting. I could see a lot of that going on.
I especially think it's an underplay because I think the way Houston, and we haven't touched on this, I think the Carlos Hyde matchup is one to look at. And if Houston does go all in on pounding the rock and getting him 20 carries, then the game is 100% going under. So I'm going to take the favorite. I'm going to take the under. But I'll give you an additional play.
Sure.
Are we allowed to do that, Sean? Can we check with the
We'll
rules?
check with the SGPN rule book and see if we're allowed to give out extra bets for the playoffs, Ryan.
I think Houston gets going quick. And
Okay.
if you want to get involved, I haven't seen a quarter. Have you seen a quarter bet yet, Sean?
I'm over at my bookie. I'll see if that's available yet.
I haven't seen a quarter market pop. Well, actually, here we go. Quarter market. If you can find a Houston first quarter, if not, take Houston -1 for the first half. And I think I like the under for the first half more than the entire game. So
And what's the total for the first half?
21. But for my additional play, I'm definitely going to give out a Houston first half -1.
Okay.
I think they get it done. I think they come out quick. I think there's a path of this game being, Buffalo plays good defense, stays in the game, and then Josh Allen makes some miraculous play to bring it close, because as we've seen, Texans, they know how to screw things up. Perhaps that's the Bill
And I
O'Brien
wouldn't be
effect.
surprised of all these games. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if the spread matters in this game. This could be a 21-20 game. This has the makings of a 21-20 game, maybe a 2-point, maybe Houston going for a 2-point when they shouldn't, that kind of thing.
So just to be clear, you're backing a first-time playoff starter, Josh Allen.
I'm not holding a lot of weight to that little stat. It's an interesting stat, but I don't know.
Of course you're not. You want to pick Carson Wentz, but doesn't your messed up psychological logic here have you taking all the other ones because Carson will be the one that bucks the trend? Isn't that what you should be playing here? Isn't that what you should be angling for here? The other thing I would point,
certainly makes sense, but yeah.
What do you mean certainly makes sense? It makes a lot of sense.
I see your angle there, but as far as extra bet, a player prop, I'm already all over, and that is Cole Beasley over 60 receiving yards. You can get that at like -114. I was all in on him, for the fantasy show. But yeah, Beasley over 60 yards, -114. Love that. I think the cornerbacks not being able to, and maybe Brown breaks a couple deep, because I do think the hamstring injuries of the cornerbacks are going to be a big deal.
Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson are both the long shots to have the most passing yards at +900, +1200. Any reason to take a stab here?
Yeah, I mean, I would. Here's the thing. Josh Allen, I don't even think he's had a 300-yard game in the NFL.
I don't think you're going Josh Allen, although the Houston defense has shown. I think Watson is the angle you take here.
Yeah.
But for me, I approach this differently. I say most rushing yards, Carlos Hyde. And that would be the prop I'm going to throw out here. 7-1, Carlos Hyde has the most rushing yards this weekend.
Now, do you see any Josh Allen rushing props? Because I would definitely look.
I'm currently only looking in the group of kind of wild card round props.
Okay.
But no, I've not seen a Josh Allen rushing yards. I'm guessing that's what you're looking to approach here.
Yeah, because I think there's, I mean, I definitely think there's some value in Josh Allen over rushing yards. When his back is against the wall, he does seem to just say, fuck it, and hey, I'm going to run. So I really think there's I think there's a decent chance he goes off. So whatever that number is, I'm looking to play the over as well.
I would imagine they'll set that somewhere in the high teens, low 20s, maybe higher.
Yeah, and I'm all over it.
All right.
All over that, Ryan.
Anything else we want to throw out for this game? I did find again, Carlos Hyde angle. Carlos Hyde to go over 74 yards. That's the number.
Okay.
Feels low.
But you also like most rushing yards.
I almost like the 7-1. Let's take a stab at that one.
Going long, taking the 7-1. Hey, what if you wanted to book Ryan's 7-1? Well, you'd have to be your own sports book. How would you do that? Pretty simple. All you got to do is go to aceperhead.com/SGP. Ace, man, make it super easy to help you start your own sportsbook. Ever thought about starting your own sportsbook? Don't know where to get started? It's surprisingly easy. You sign up over at aceperhead.com/SGP. They get you a website. It's got professional betting lines. They grade the lines. Some of the sharpest lines in the industry. 24/7 customer support. You can even get live betting. It does great on mobile. Plus, you sign up today over at aceperhead.com/SGP. Get up to 6 weeks free. 6 weeks. It's a lot of weeks free. You can pay in Bitcoin, make it super easy. aceperhead.com/SGP.
Nice work, Sean.
Thank you, Ryan.
Next up, the 5:15. Goddamn. I will say, not that I have a problem with extra football, but it does. You do have to be strategic, I feel like, about which games you definitely want to watch. This, to me, falls in the bucket of games I kind of want to watch, but Saturday night, making it tough for me. NFL. Tennessee heads to New England.
Why? What are you doing?
I got a lot of ins, a lot of outs, and it's gonna work itself out. I'm gonna catch the second half of this game, but Tennessee, they head down to New England where the Patriots are -5. I guess they head up to New England. Yeah. Tom Brady -230 on the money line. Tennessee +190. 44 is the total. Sean, I highlighted those numbers. In this case, first-time starter Ryan Tannehill is a dog. That's a 31.8% proposition. This is the one game. This is the game I'm going to throw that one out. Because Tom Brady looks like a dead man. Tom Brady looks like trash. Sean, I'm curious to see where you're going here.
I can delete this right here for you.
And 100%, this is the square sharp side of the week, I think.
People talking themselves into the Titans.
Getting cute and taking the Titans, which is what I'm representing those people today. I'm hoping you have the other side. Tell me why I'm an idiot.
I keep going back and forth because I
you can't take the Titans and the Bills. You realize they're both the same team. It's the feel-good team. They're both not going to win. So you got to decide which one.
Yeah. I keep going back and forth because I like the Titans. I also made a vow.
Tighten up, baby.
A solemn vow on this podcast not to ever pick against the Titans for the rest of the 2019 season. It's really tough, though, because I'm just looking down the barrel of these Pats. What really seems to make sense to me is that the Pats win but don't cover. But do I really want to back this Titans team on the road? Patriots are 42-20-20 against the spread in December and January home games since 2000.
Can I help you out?
Sure.
Marcus Mariota, no longer their starting quarterback. You know what kind of diet he has, Sean? A vegan diet.
Oh, well, there you go.
They switched
Classic
to
soy boy.
The meat man, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, and are the Pats really going to lose to former coordinators back-to-back weeks? Seems like a bit of a stretch, but the matchups really favor the Titans. I think Derrick Henry, who's going to slow down this man, Derrick Henry? I think he's going to have a big game, and I think Ryan Tannehill is going to be good in DraftKings. I think he's going to run the ball in the same way that Josh Allen has scrambled for his life. I could see the same thing out of Ryan Tannehill, and everyone's going to say, well, Gilmore's going to be on A.J. Brown. He's going to shut him down. Yeah,
yep.
Is he? Because he didn't shut down Devontae Parker. And that was a must-win for this Pats team. And
so weird. I mean, and Devontae Parker was. I mean, he what kind of receiver is he? Big, physical, and what
jump balls
specifically? He was beating him on back shoulder jump balls, and the question will become: Does Ryan Tannehill have the confidence that Ryan Fitzpatrick has to throw those?
I think so. I think both these former Miami quarterbacks, once they got out of the thumb of Adam Gase, they realized, oh my God, I'm a good quarterback. The Dolphins. This is a crazy stat that I saw on Twitter. The Dolphins have won more games from November 1st on than the New England Patriots. And everyone, the Patriots, they're going, the empire is burning. Things are falling to the ground. It's all over. The last time they didn't make a bye was the 2009 team. And
well, that was when they were still shell-shocked from getting beat by the Giants the previous year. Look.
I can delete this right here for you.
They didn't have the game footage on the Miami Dolphins. Do they have the game footage on the said
7-3 with Ryan Tannehill? Who knows what this team could have been if he was the starter all year? They have this is what you say about the Tennessee Titans, right? They have the formula. They have a pass rush. They play some defense. They can run the ball. They have a quarterback who's willing to take some shots. Ryan Tannehill, in many ways, is a lot like a 2011 to 2007 version of Eli Manning. Kind of looks a little retarded, can make some throws, and for some reason has a bunch of confidence. And while everything about betting in the National Football League tells me that you should take the Patriots here because the Patriots are not losing a night game at home, Sean. This Patriots team, they played an easy schedule, Sean, and they still couldn't lock up that bye. They played an easy schedule, and they still went 9-7 only against the spread.
Yeah.
Most importantly, you look at them down the stretch. Lose to the Dolphins. Win by a touchdown at home against the Bills. Bengals, okay. Lose to the Chiefs. Lose to the Texans.
I almost want to take Tennessee.
Beat the Cowboys by 4? Beat the Eagles by... This is not a team that has done anything spectacular in 2 months. Tom Brady looks horrible. The defense has regressed down the stretch. They are susceptible to a running attack. I don't know if Gilmore will be enough. Patriots take an early exit from the playoffs.
Wow, Ryan.
Give me the money line.
Oh my God!
All right, so I'll
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, obviously, we're picking against the Patriots.
Are you doing it too?
Yeah, I'll
Nice.
go Tennessee +5. Give me the over 44. But I think there's I'm not betting Tennessee money line.
Ooh.
And I'm not. And honestly, I think when we come to teasing this, I may tease New England down to and maybe I'm just hedging my bets. I think this is a field goal game. This to me is a 31-28 type game. I'm predicting you could bet New England. I think there's a formula of taking New England money line and Tennessee +5. Just hoping for that juicy 3, 4, 5 point middle that I think is very real. As far as props, I like Ryan Tannehill to have over 250 passing yards. That's -114.
See, I'm going a different angle. I like Derrick Henry to go north of 150.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Plus 375.
All right. I mean,
Oh my God!
yeah, I'm all over him in FFPC and DFS, but I'll go Tannehill on that one. But also,
So you're taking the over.
yeah,
We didn't
the over.
really discuss the total.
I think
How is New England going to let's talk about this for a second. How is New England going to score points?
Yeah, I think the Edelman.
What is the
matchup-
path to them scoring?
The
points?
Edelman matchup against Logan, I think, is one that really favors them. I think Edelman has a 8-9 catch game. So I'm looking at Julian Edelman to get 100+ receiving yards. That's +135. I'm going to be on that. And I have him, again, in DFS, FFPC, the whole 9. So Edelman over 100 yards, +135. I'm on that. Mark that one.
Yeah, the
think
money is
they're-
very split here.
I think the way they
Surprisingly.
I think the way the fact that they're not a bigger public dog is giving me some consolation on the Titans.
50%. The money is legit. The tickets are split 50-50. Tannehill and the Titans are getting 52% of the dollars. Shockingly, both games, I didn't bring it up for Houston Buffalo, also a 50-50 split on the tickets. Buffalo
Nice.
getting more of the money.
So I'm not backing any crazy sort of public dogs. I feel a little better about that. But yeah, Edelman over 100 receiving yards, Tannehill over 250 throwing yards, and Tennessee in the over. What are you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, so I think both teams' path to success comes through the ground, so I think you have to look at the under.
Okay.
I think the wrench gets thrown in here if Tom Brady gets his hip broken and he fumbles for a touchdown, or the New England defense scores a touchdown, as they often do. I would go under. I think I'm going to do a lot of unders.
Yeah,
again,
I see that storyline of New England defense playing really tough. Tennessee just kind of keeps grinding it out and stays in the game, limits New England's possessions.
Derrick Henry most rushing yards plus 160. Sony Michel plus 700 for receiving.
Is that for the whole weekend?
Yeah, for the whole weekend. A.J. Brown for the most receiving yards is 8-1. That one kind of stuck out.
Fun.
That stuck out to me. Edelman, you love Edelman?
Yes.
Most receiving yards, 12-1.
Okay.
If they are losing in this game,
I think it's more catches than receiving yards,
I
but I
agree.
still like over 100 at plus 135.
And then to your point, you like Ryan Tannehill to go over 250 yards. If you think he could be have the most passing yards, he's 8-1. Tom Brady's 6-1. How is Tom Brady ahead of anyone?
Tom Brady is according to DraftKings, I think he's the lowest priced quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me for a hot take this weekend, Tom Brady has the least passing yards. If you can find that bet, that's the bet to take.
I think it's Russell Wilson or maybe even Wentz. I'm all over that under.
Dude, take your heart out of that. They're both gonna.
No,
throw.
I said or Wentz because I think it's going to be an ugly, low-scoring game. We'll get to that in a moment. Ryan, you gave out like 9 things. What are your actual props here?
Oh my God, you're making me have to recap. No, I was just having a conversation with you, Sean.
Right, but I'm clarifying.
Derrick Henry over 150 yards
Okay.
plus 375.
Okay.
And whatever, I don't know if I found. Do you have an Edelman catch prop?
I'm just seeing receiving yards. I haven't seen props yet. But
I'm
Edelman over
gonna
catches.
assume the Edelman catch prop will be somewhere in the 5.5 to 6.5 range. I play over up to 6.5. I don't know if I play over on 7.
All right. That makes sense, Ryan. Oh, man. We almost didn't get to it, but an update on the free roll football contest. Week 17 in the books. Congrats to Vincent. GV46 went 12-4. Hit us up for your weekly merch prize. If you didn't win, no big deal. You can just head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/merch, and there's no more weekly prizes. However, the dash for the cash is still on in the BetSperts free roll football contest. Ryan, do you have a look at the leaderboard as it stands? Again, giving away $3,500, 60% I think to first place, 30% to second place, 10% to third place, and then some merch prizes for the rest of the leaderboard.
And as Sean pointed out, we have 11
games left.
11 more games to pick, so it's not over. But God, it really kind of seems like it's over.
It's putting some distance between him and the rest of the competition, right?
Pickmaster.
Yes.
He's got a 6-point. Is that accurate? 6-point lead.
Oh my God!
NFL Pickles after that, and then a bunch of names that are hard to pronounce. So Pickmaster has a 9-point lead on third place. So it's
Nice.
between. I'm calling it. It's between Pickmasters and NFL Pickles. Congratulations, well done. Code Juggalo is third place for record keeping.
All right. Let's go on to the next game, Kramer.
All right, Sean. Over to Sunday, where the Minnesota Vikings head to New Orleans to once again take on the Saints in the playoffs. 10:05 a.m. kick. -8.5 for the Saints. -430 on the money line. Vikings plus 350. 49.5 is the total. Oh, boy. A lot of injuries for the Saints. I'm a little worried about. This is the one game that I'm most torn about.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me all chalk all day.
Is that the angle?
Yeah. Don't
Kirk
overthink
Cousins?
this.
Fade Kirk Cousins.
You like that? You like that?
I mean, it's really easy to say Kirk Cousins doesn't show up in big games, but I'm going to say it one more time. Kirk Cousins does not show up in big games.
These are
He
true
doesn't.
stories.
He doesn't. You're not 0-9 on Monday Night Football by accident.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a team game. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get it.
It's a team game.
But you should win one of those big games, Kirk Cousins. He doesn't. He doesn't win big games. Dalvin Cook is playing, but, I mean, that clavicle injury seemed pretty serious. Thielen is dealing with the tweaked hammy. Really, what I'm worried about, if I'm a Minnesota fan, and that is our secondary. How are we going to cover Michael Thomas? Xavier Rhodes has been a sieve all season. I just don't see how they don't have a big game. And yeah, maybe they slow down the run game because that's kind of what Minnesota does well. But I think Kamara is going to go off in the passing game.
Sean, once again getting choked up in the lead up to the Philadelphia Eagles preview.
Alvin Kamara to get 75 plus receiving yards, plus 175. So I love that, Ryan. Keep going while I get some water.
The bottle of water right to your right. Yeah, so for me, listen, the reason why I'm concerned is the injury situation for the Saints. They've lost a lot of talent now. Eli Apple's not going to play, right?
No.
I mean, he's been surprisingly important. I don't think they're going to win the game, but the Saints are now laying a big enough number where the Vikings to cover is getting intriguing.
The Minnesota Miracle, Ryan. The
Revenge?
Minnesota Miracle. It's a huge revenge game. It's a huge revenge spot for the Saints team. The Saints team is just dying to shove it down people's throats. They're super pissed. There should have been a pass interference call in that Seattle-San Francisco game. That would have got them a first-round bye. So they are just – you don't think they're super pissed about that?
But
this team is just going to –
Don't you like the angle of New Orleans quits the Super Bowl again? New Orleans says, as a city, they will not.
Wow.
They will renounce the Super. Look, I'm with you. I get why this number is so big here. I do worry about outside of Kirk Cousins, Sean. Give me what is the reason? What is the reason this team rolls in blowout fashion? Because it seems a lot like to me when I'm listening to the news, when I'm listening to podcasts, when I'm reading about these games. You know what I'm seeing? A lot of people writing off the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. And Mike Zimmer was trying to say, no one believes in us.
No one believes in them.
Yeah, why should they? You're not winners. The Saints defense is strong, especially at home.
They're not the same defense. That's another area where I would point out this Saints team, they are not the same team they were at the beginning of the year on defense. But
They held the Colts to 7 points.
Here's where I help the argument.
They held the Cardinals to 9 points. The only time they've really let up any points is under kind of like a divisional game.
The only playoff team the Vikings have beaten this year was your Philadelphia Eagles at home. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints, their only loss to a playoff team this year was that shootout against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
So I like that angle. I've been using it a little bit this year. Minnesota, they haven't stepped up when they've had opportunities to step up. Meanwhile, New Orleans has. Kirk Cousins is the linchpin here. I think he does enough to throw a pick six and make the spread matter. Give me the chalk. I'm with you. I talked myself all the way around.
I just don't see how Minnesota can slow down New Orleans' passing game. We've seen kind of up and down moments from Breeze, but what I saw out of him that second half of that Titans game where they just kind of force-fed Michael Thomas, even though Tennessee has like a decent defense, and still were able to basically do whatever they want. And I do think the Vikings team is going to have trouble with Kamara out of the backfield catching. And that's why I threw him in the DFS lineup. I really like the prop. Kamara receiving yards over 75 at plus 175. I think they're going to get creative. I mean, Taysom Hill is being involved. As much as I hate Taysom Hill, the guy has been a productive player in the Saints offense. He's very annoying. But they figured it out, and they do seem to be rolling. So this Saints team at home, I'm just not picking
Vikings
against them.
only loss by more than 7 points on the road this year came to the Chicago Bears week 4.
Yeah, I think the playoffs are kind of a different breed, and I just don't think they have. The cojones, the onions, the mojo. We've seen this Vikings team outside of their dome. They're a different team.
Are we worried a little bit about maybe Thielen will be back all the way?
Maybe, but I even if Minnesota's able to put up points, I just don't think they can keep pace with New Orleans. And
all right,
that's
so from a total perspective, is this an overplay for you?
Yes, I'm going over. Not a strong play. Again, not crazy on any of these totals except the Eagles game.
I also like the over. This to me feels like the chalky side of the weekend. I think it's close to 70% on New Orleans laying the points here. Definitely find a way to get New Orleans in a teaser. And maybe that's the angle. Maybe that's my because I circled it as a potential. So let's call this one of my props. I think you tease New Orleans in the over here. I think you get the over 43.5. You get New Orleans minus 2.5. You put that together. That's a single game tease that I really like.
Any other props jump out at your end?
Well, I think just Kirk Cousins throws an interception, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a price for that, but I mean, I'm sure it's got to be close to even money, right?
I would say Kirk Cousins to throw an interception would be a favorite. Again, we don't have a price on that, but I would be looking to play
probably
that.
minus 150.
I would also be looking to play just for all the talk about this Vikings defense. To your point, they've not been great against good passing attacks. And while you're talking about Michael Thomas, I kind of like to if the Traquan Smith prop for catches is 3 or less, I might look to, if it's 2.5, I might look to pounce on that as well. Last thing, I like Jared Cook. I think Jared Cook to score a touchdown anytime. Again, I don't have that price. That's something maybe I do have that price. Jared Cook, anytime scorer of a touchdown is plus 150 at this site I will not name. And then the last thing I'm going to say, Sean, you talked about Michael Thomas. He's plus 75 to have the most receiving yards. I don't know if I like that so much. We didn't really discuss Drew Brees for FFPC. He's an interesting contrarian play because he's going to at least get that one dome game. But circling back to your buddy Alvin Kamara, you think he has a big game? You think it's through the air or through the ground?
I think it's through the air, receiving.
Yeah. So that would be another one. Alvin Kamara, I don't know what his receptions prop will be, but look to play that over if it's anywhere under 5, in my opinion.
And to your Kirk Cousins point, I got Minnesota to throw the first INT at plus 110.
Oh my God, I love that. That's not a real prop.
Yeah, it is. I'm seeing it on the internet, Ryan. Again, check out mybookie.ag. All right. Any other thoughts before we move on, Kramer?
No. I think that's it. I think we're pretty lockstep on that game.
Pretty lockstep. Ooh, big fan of this website. Happy they decided to join SGPN. Decided to advertise because I was already on it. I was already on PropSwap.com, but now you get a promo code SGP for 100% bonus up to $100, and it's no sort of rollover requirements. I deposited $100. I used the promo code. I bought a $200 sports ticket. Like I said, I got the Eagles at essentially 50-1. Bought it from a guy who, had it at 100-1. A lot of interesting tickets
Smart man
on here.
selling that. Smart man.
Oh, smarter man is me, Sean Green, buying it. What about the Chiefs to win the NFC Championship?
The AFC Championship, or the NFL Championship. Those would be your two options. I do think, not to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
People are forgetting about the Chiefs.
They are. Chiefs are getting sneaky.
Yeah, and you can go over and right now you can get a number of tickets for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm seeing a 3-1 ticket. I'm seeing another 3-1 ticket. So,
yeah, what's awesome about PropSwap is you can get the whole thing that's cool about it is since you're buying people's hedges, you're getting better prices, right? Because the thing is, hey, if you buy it at 100-1 and all of a sudden it's 50-1, but you're scared of the 50-1, you can sell it for 100% profit. If I'm looking to bet, I'm betting at 50-1, you can't get it 50-1. So you're creating opportunities in the marketplace, right? This past
absolutely,
week,
Sean.
LSU football championship ticket, the collect amount of $12,400 was purchased on PropSwap for $6,400. So basically, they got LSU to win the championship at plus 170. The seller, maybe I don't know what he originally bought it at, but it's probably a lot lower. So he got a profit, but then the person buying it, 170. You weren't going to find that anywhere else.
Sean, I'm seeing a 2020 NFL championship. I assume that means, that's this year.
Yes.
We should get this for Justin Decker. $1 for a Chargers ticket.
Oh, yeah.
16,000 to 1.
Diego Superchargers.
1,600 to 1, sorry.
1,600 to 1. Again, get involved. Go to PropSwap.com. Use that promo code SGP. 100% match on your first deposit. Just use that promo code SGP. Match up to $100. Void where prohibited. PropSwap.com, SGP. Last game, Ryan. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Sean. Sunday afternoon in the primetime spot. 4:40 local time in Philadelphia.
Prime time.
Pennsylvania.
The sun will be setting at Lincoln Financial Field with record level intoxication levels for the patrons.
Eagles, a 2.5-point home dog.
Do we got to break out the dog mask, Ryan?
Plus-
Do these people learn nothing about the spirit of Philadelphia, the same city that threw out the British a mere 200 and something years ago? You think we're scared of some Seahawks?
Yeah.
Some guys coming from Amazon? Oh, hey, we're here to get a startup going and drink some cold brew. Get the fuck out of my city! And yeah, I don't live there anymore, but I have the heart of a Philadelphian. And so will many of the people in the audience, in the stadium, in the crowd. Oh, you make fun of us for throwing batteries. What more connects the city than throwing batteries? Here, take the batteries for your Amazon bullshit. You fucking go hang out by the Sound and look at the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Speaking of needles, a lot of junkies up in Seattle doing their heroin.
Yep.
You killed Kurt Cobain, Seattle. Losers.
Yeah, go throw some fish, right?
Go throw some fish. We're going to be throwing up dubs. We're going to be like Jameis Winston, eating some dubs. Break out the crab legs, for the feast of Philadelphia is upon us. Wildcard Weekend.
Plus 115 on the money line, minus 135 for the Seahawks. 46 is the total. Sean, I'm doing it. I was going to be on Philadelphia. I was going to be on that trend, but then I noticed Carson Wentz is making his first start. And then I noticed you said we're going to eat a dub like Jameis, and that is not winning the football game. Listen, there's few men that I like backing more in the playoffs than Danger Russ. And I think there's a number of reasons why it's very easy for you to fall into the same trap I've fallen into many times and say, wow, this team reminds me a lot of that other team. Or, wow, we're dogs again, no respect. I think the difference is this team is just the glue. There's not much glue left holding this team together. And while last time they went on the run, it was just Carson Wentz that was missing, I think a lot of the other pieces were there. I think the defense was much more functional. And while the defense has been stepping up as the season has come to an end, I do worry about this offense. And I think if this turns into a little bit of a shootout, which we both have said instinctually that number seems high.
No, I said the exact opposite the entire time.
No, you said the number's high. You like the under.
The number's high. Okay, yeah.
And I at first glance I agree, but when you look deeper at this game, both Seattle's offense is the one elite unit on the field. And I think Seattle's going to get theirs through the air. I think Philadelphia is going to get theirs through the ground. I think there will be some points in this game. I think the total will go over 46.
So you're 0 for 2 on this, huh?
But I like Russ. I like Danger Russ. I think the Seahawks just have a little bit too much. Pete Carroll greater than Doug P. Carson Wentz less than Russell Wilson.
How can you say that? Doug Peterson 4-1 in the playoffs. Doug Peterson owns December. He's been like 12-2 in games after December, meaningful games. In December, I don't know, whatever, 14-3, however you want to slice it up. This guy rallies the team when they have their backs against the wall. Yeah, they lost in New Orleans because Alshon dropped that pass. But other than that, this team shows up. And a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just Foles. But we've seen similar magic here in this last run of 4 games. Since the switch got flipped.
Against who?
Game-winning touchdowns against the Giants.
You
Game-winning
played the Giants twice in the – come on.
Against the Redskins. A great win against the Cowboys. a great
get
road
that.
win against the Giants. I get it. The Giants aren't a National Football League team, but they're still in the division. You're still winning road division games. That's not nothing, and especially for the scraps they have on this offense. Alshon Jeffrey was a veteran that wasn't buying in. Nelson Aguilar was a veteran that wasn't buying in. They got rid of the snakes, okay? Much like St. Patrick did in Ireland. Wentz came with his staff and shook all the snakes out of Ireland. The snakes are gone. It's just guys that want to win, guys that are hungry, guys that are willing to listen to Carson Wentz being their leader.
Yep.
How do you not see that? And Seattle's offensive line just sucks.
So let's
Dwayne
talk
Brown,
about
left tackle. If he's going to play, he's not healthy.
Let's talk
The
about
public is pounding Seattle, right?
Well, I agree with that. That part scares me a little bit. People like Danger Russ. I get that. He's awesome. The Eagles are 5-0 against the spread as underdogs in the playoffs over the last couple of years. I get it.
Doug Peterson has never not covered a spread in the playoffs.
There's that 14-2 trend we discussed earlier about 2.5 underdogs of 2.5 or less, or 14-2 against the spread since 2000.
Let's just look at
Let's just talk about the offensive line for the Eagles, though. You mentioned are we worried?
Yeah, I think here's what's going to happen though. I do think Lane Johnson will play.
Oh.
I think Lane Johnson.
He got a shipment then? His shipment came in from Mexico. He's back. He's on the mend.
It was a high ankle sprain. I think he was waiting as long as he can, but I think he's gonna play.
Dude, offensive lineman with a high ankle sprain. He
Oh,
doesn't have
maybe,
that bend.
Maybe.
Jadeveon Clowney's lined up across from him. That's trouble.
And certainly that's why I like the under. I think it is going to be tough to get points in this game, but I think ultimately it's going to be a couple stops by the Eagles defense and a couple Dallas Goedert catches, a couple Greg Ward catches, a couple screen plays that they bust open. They've really got the screen game going again post Alshon, and I think that's been huge. Another thing, the injuries on this team have made them stronger. Every time a guy's gotten injured, someone's come in and played better. You can't ignore that trend. Again, the other thing that really was a difference the last time they played was the Eagles turned the ball over 5 times at home.
Yep.
Okay, so if they turn the ball over 5 times, they're going to lose the game. But on this run they've been having, Wentz has done a very good job of protecting the ball, not turning it over. He hasn't thrown an interception on a non-Hail Mary since November 24th.
Nice caveat.
Well, I mean, if you want to count the one he threw at the end of the Miami game, sure. He's had issues with fumbling, but he hasn't lost a fumble lately. And I think, again, they got 6 sacks on Russell Wilson last time they played. And I think you could see a similar thing this time. And again, that's why I think the scoring is going to be low. Wentz is scrambling more than he was against Seattle. He looks much more comfortable throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball much more accurately. You criticized him when he was throwing the ball poorly, and I agreed he needed to play better, and now he's playing better. We're seeing why this guy was the number 2 pick overall, and we're enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything you said is completely fine to say. You do have to look at the fact that they played the Giants twice and the Redskins once in that stretch.
Carson Wentz, only quarterback to throw a TD in every game this year. Second lowest interception percentage of QBs this year. 4th highest TD to interception ratio. All of that coming to 17 different receiving targets. 5 are from the practice squad, 4 on IR, 3 not with the team anymore. They are just finding ways to win. It doesn't matter, Ryan. Jake Elliott's back to hitting 50-yard field goals. Come in. And their road favorites, it's all coming together. I hate to see you lose money as a friend, as a coworker here in the SGPN network. I hate to see you lose money. I hate to see it. I hate to see the fans lose money. So just take the Eagles. Plus 2.5. Or actually, plus 115 on the money line. Ryan, is this correct that the Eagles are 3-point favorites in the first half? Or did you... Because I'm looking at the...
I believe I typed that in wrong, Sean.
But Seattle's a 3-point favorite in the first half, and then minus 2.5 for the
I must
game?
have wrote that down wrong.
Yeah.
I'll
that
check it
doesn't
right.
seem right.
I'm investigating right now as we speak.
Okay.
It's a half. I apologize. It's a
okay.
half.
And it's Seattle's favorite then, right? By a half.
I really screwed. I don't know what I wrote down.
Yeah. You must. I think you copy and pasted.
I was
Tennessee.
sewing up.
Well, while you're discussing soy there and fixing the first half line, I'll throw out a couple props I like. Give me Dallas Goedert over 50 receiving yards. That's about even money. And again, I think this goes under in a big way. I like even an adjusted under
Oh,
29.5 plus 900. So I would tease this up, as they say. I mean, Eagles plus 8.5, under 52. That seems like a good tease to me. But I don't like doing same game in-game teases, and I don't think the Eagles will need the 8.5 points. Just throwing that out there to non-believers.
Well, I think if you are, it is a pretty appealing tease slate if you look at the whole weekend, because Buffalo and Philly teased up to 8.5.
Yeah,
is nice. New Orleans teased down to 2.5 is nice. So you have some Wong opportunities. For me,
Wong Cox.
For me, I'm looking at. Do you have a number on Russell Wilson passing touchdowns?
I can probably figure something out. I'm sure you can.
I found a couple numbers. They were messing with juice though. I did find a passing prop of 2 where the over was minus 110, 120, something like that. That's one. I would take the over on Russell Wilson touchdown passes. I would also take the over on, and this is where you just have to take a gamble, but I think one of the running backs is going to be successful. They're going to dangle a Jordan Howard prop. And you can tell me I'm an idiot and he's not going to touch the ball, but doesn't this feel a bit like they're doing some of that sorcery where they're just going to, they know the way to attack the Seattle team is to pound the rock with a physical runner. Jordan Howard is the only physical runner they have.
Well, and kind of Boston Scott.
Does Howard have a prop of 20-something yards for rushing yards? If so, yes, take the over.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and we're taping this Thursday morning-ish, West Coast time. There's a lot to be said still for some of these late-breaking injury stuff that really could sway things. Jordan Howard, first touchdown scored, plus 1,400, I'm seeing. So that could be interesting, Ryan. I'm sure we'll throw out some first touchdown stuff as it gets closer. And you're probably going to say I'm insane. Yeah, I won't even throw this out there.
What's
Recently signed Elijah Holyfield, son of the great.
I'm glad you saw this.
He is 100-1 to score the first touchdown.
Oh, stop it.
Evander Holyfield, longtime great boxer. Elijah Holyfield signed by the Eagles. And if we've seen one thing from this Eagles team is the random guy they signed that week has a huge game. So look out for Elijah Holyfield. Throw him in your GPP DFS lineup just for fun. Come on, man.
DK Metcalf is first touchdown. That would be my pick there. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about touchdown markets, Ertz is out, right? He's not a man, a real man like his wife.
No, Ertz wants to play. I think it's just he's not been cleared for contact yet. He wanted to play through it earlier, but they're just not clearing him for contact. So, I mean, what's the guy to do?
What do you need some props from me, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, what are your 2 props you want to lead?
Carson Wentz, anytime touchdown scorer. Plus, this price is crazy, Sean. Plus 850.
Anytime rushing touchdown?
Yeah.
Okay.
He enters the end zone.
Yeah.
I'll throw you that one. I'll also throw
he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
And so you're obviously on the over 46.
I am on the over 46. I like Russell Wilson to go over 2. Whatever his passing touchdowns prop is, I like the over, assuming it's not 2.5. It's not going to be 2.5. Did you find one?
No, I haven't seen it yet,
Yep,
but
exactly.
It'll probably be. Did they set it at 1.5? I mean, I'm shocked that you're thinking it's such an over game. I'm just looking back at the last game, and I don't know. I just think this is a big under game.
You know, I think one of the things that's steering me towards the over is the simple question of why is this 46? They played each other. We saw what the score was. And I think it's simply because I think the ball is going to be able to fly. I don't think we're going to have one of those horrible weather games where the offenses struggle. And I think specifically both teams have a glaring advantage on offense against the other team's defense. So, yeah, I would bet on points in this game. Perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps both teams roll out with a game plan that is just slow the ball, run the clock. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Lock dog tease, Sean?
Lock dog tease, Ryan. presented by MyBookie.ag. Promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid. And hey, speaking of this weekend, if you're in the San Diego area, Bay Bridge Brewing, Friday night, 8 o'clock. And I'll also be at Twigs Coffee House Saturday, 8 o'clock as well. So if you're in the San Diego area, come out, say hi. I'll buy you a beer. Hashtag DGens only.
Sean will buy you a beer. Deshaun Watson, Houston Texans, they're being disrespected. This number should be 3. I don't think I got to say that during the preview, but why is this not 3? I don't know. Take the Texans. For my dog, just let's do it. Why the fuck not? Give me the Tennessee Titans plus 190. The buzzsaw, tighten up, baby. And for my tees, give me New Orleans minus 2.5.
Okay.
Give me. See, here's the thing. I don't actually think. I don't know if Buffalo can get blown out in this game, but I'm gonna tease the under. So let's go to under. Let's tease that up to under 50.
Okay.
And then the last one. We both kind of agree this game's going over. New Orleans, Minnesota. Let's tease that to over 43.5.
Wow, Ryan.
I went 2 totals in the tease. You like that?
Scary. All right, for my lock, give me New Orleans minus 8.5. For my dog, give me the Philadelphia Eagles, which I'd like to make as my lock, but I don't want to imply that they are going to need your 2.5 shitty points. For my tees, give me the Bills up to 8.5, New Orleans down to 2.5, and under 52 in the Eagles-Seattle game. So fun little tease there.
Nice work, Sean.
And Sunday morning, we'll be doing the early Periscope, 9 a.m. Pacific. Stay tuned to that. Again, give us some freaking iTunes reviews.
Yeah, please.
It's a new year. Your New Year's resolution should be, don't be a freeloader. Help us out. Write a review. It takes 2 seconds. We're giving you all this free picks, posts, and content. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I am Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
And after you leave those reviews, you should enjoy some plant-based protein.
Kramer, let it ride.